You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or stretching and doing things, building furniture, if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen in a still position, you can feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there and allow yourself to fidget and adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways feels good for you. Doing your best to not think about the movements, but more letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones and muscles and joints. Not worrying at all about what the movements look like, but just coming fully into your sense of feeling. And just following those yummy sensations you might get when you stretch in certain ways. And if what feels best to you at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like the right thing for you. And just feeling that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen today. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full, intentional cleansing breath. You take a long and slow inhale in through the nose, and just let yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you. So you just hold that for a moment once you're full, to really experience what it feels like to be full of air right now. And without straining as you need to, slowly let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. And just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to experience what it feels like to be empty right now. And as you need to, allowing your next breath to come. And you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath, whatever that means to you today. Not worrying about the length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting them be exaggerated, whatever that means for you today. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can drag that out just a little bit more, get a little bit more full. And when you would normally start your exhale, seeing if you can pause for just a moment longer than normal. And again, as you exhale, fully and deeply, pushing out a tiny bit more air than usual. And then again, pausing for an extra moment as we consciously slow down the process of our breath. Communicating to our nervous system that we are slowing down and letting go. And at any time, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether and allow yourself to step into that role of the observer or the witness. Maybe even feeling like you're stepping back and up in your mind into that witnessing role. And seeing if just for a moment you can watch your body breathe you, rather than having any direct influence over the rhythm or depth of your breath. But reminding yourself how our breath is that one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. So releasing your voluntary guidance and observing the automatic process that is your body breathing. Practicing seeing your breath just as you would see any other force of nature out there. Not trying to change anything about what you are witnessing, but simply witnessing. Just as you would watch the waves roll up along the shoreline, or observe water flowing down a stream. Remembering that your body is a force of nature just like these other things. And you do have the ability to observe yourself just as you would observe any other act of nature. And allowing your awareness to now rest on your face. And as you first check in, you can notice any expression that could be resting on your face right now. Making note of any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression. And from that point of awareness, you can instead choose to allow the muscles of your face to soften a little bit more. So first, just allowing your jaw to hang into place. As you feel the tongue release down from the roof of the mouth. Just feeling your lips rest gently on one another. As the corners of your mouth soften a little bit more. Just feeling how that naturally allows the chin to soften a bit deeper. The nostrils as well. As you allow that sense of release to naturally spread outward and upward. As you feel the cheeks soften a little more, the ears and that upper jaw. All the tiny muscles along your lash lines that scrunch up when you squint, feeling those soften as the corners of your eyes just get a little bit wider simply by this release. Feeling the eyebrows soften and the hairline softening back as you just allow your forehead to be wide and deep. And if you were to imagine your own anatomy that is in your face, all the bones and tiny muscles and the skin of your face, maybe almost feeling like the muscles are ungripping from the bones and releasing back into the support of your skin. A sense of stillness and softness in the face. Maybe even feeling like your brain is resting into your skull. as you allow this softness to naturally trickle down the rest of your body, just like warm water would when you step into a shower. Feeling your muscles gradually release down the whole scalp, the back and sides of the neck, as the shoulders get a little bit heavier, and you feel that space between the shoulders and the ears get a little bit longer. As the arms become heavier and the hands fully relax. Maybe feeling a sense of a heartbeat in your hands. So you can notice the shape of your skeleton in your whole chest and shoulders area right now. And notice if there's any natural protective stance that you're taking with your heart. It's typically how I find my resting posture to be. It's kind of like my heart is curling back into this cave that is my shoulders. Especially when you relax, maybe the shoulders curl forward a little bit more than usual. And so if that's the case, you can just let attention come to the very tips of your shoulders on either side. And feel like they're almost being pulled away from each other as your collarbones broaden and your heart steps forward, sits in line with your upper arms in this proud position. And allowing for a slight tuck of your chin to really feel the full length of the back of your neck as you just clear that channel that travels from your heart inside the body all the way through the neck into the brainstem and into the brain itself. Just clearing that path between your heart and your head. And allowing your body to soften beneath that posture, beneath that proud stance. Maybe if you're sitting upright, imagining that there's a string holding you up from the crown of your head, and you allow your body to soften beneath that support. Allowing yourself to be tall and wide. And beginning to soften all the muscles across your abdomen. Letting them rest and almost hug the organs. And welcoming your breath to travel deep into your belly. So that with each inhale, the body takes the hug between your organs and abdominal muscles, just gets a little tighter. And as you exhale, you soften into your seat a little bit more as your pelvic floor lengthens and widens. Allowing all the muscles in your glutes and upper legs to release a little bit more. Maybe feeling this sense across both legs that the muscles are just rolling off of the bones. Again, releasing into the support of your skin, awakening that deep sense of trust with your own anatomy. As you remember the reality of the safety you have within this body. Remembering how even when you are in deep sleep, your body functions perfectly, exactly as it should, to keep you alive. Or if you even imagine when you get a small cut, and how just within a few days, oftentimes, the skin repairs itself without any of your doing necessarily. Yes, there are things we can do to aid that process by using ointments and band-aids. But ultimately, your body heals itself, just given time and patience. And so just noticing now where your attention has been drawn to within the body. Or maybe your attention has been drawn outside of the body, maybe to different sounds in your environment or to different thoughts, maybe. And just for the next few moments, letting your awareness fully funnel into wherever you feel drawn. So if that's to a particular sound, letting all of your awareness listen closely to that sound. Hear all the different layers and aspects of that sound. Or if it's drawn to a bodily sensation, focusing fully on that sensation, whether that is pain, discomfort, or maybe a good feeling. But calling all of your awareness to focus on this one thing. Noticing how the attention likes to try to split between multiple things. Maybe the mind is trying to multitask and plan things for your day or weekend ahead. Or maybe it's wandering to the past and thinking about anything at all before this moment. And so just know that the moment you notice the mind is wandering or thinking, that automatically brings you back to the present, to the observing role. And so you can allow your senses to anchor you here by focusing fully on the sounds in your direct environment. Even if there are sounds that you might first label as distracting or annoying. Seeing if just for a moment you can simply allow them to be a part of your environment. Allow the sounds to be reminders of this moment. Knowing that what you are hearing, the sounds entering into your ears, will only ever exist in this exact moment. Same with what you see, even with the eyes closed. what you smell and taste and feel. Our senses are great anchors to this moment. And same with your breath. This next breath that your body is taking will only exist in the present moment. And this practice is not about erasing your thoughts or ignoring bad feelings, but this practice is about continually bringing yourself back to this present moment, to sit with whatever is here for you now. To find a sense of acceptance with exactly what you are feeling, with where you are in your life journey, and all the different aspects that make up this moment. Remembering that acceptance does not mean that you like it or that you want it to be this way. It simply means that you acknowledge what is. You're acknowledging reality. And that is going to be our starting point for any real change in our lives. And so if you're in a space right now where you are experiencing a lot of pain, whether that be physical or emotional, psychological pain maybe, or if you're in a place right now that feels blissful and very good for you, you can allow yourself to fully feel those feelings. Reminding yourself that the only thing all of us can count on in this life is that things change, especially how we feel. And our minds can be really successful in tricking us at times, that the way we are feeling is how we've always felt and how we always will feel. But we know that that will never be true, because the only thing that we can count on is change. And so you can allow that to be a comfort to you if you're in a place right now that doesn't feel good. You can fully feel it and allow it to move through you, because it will change. Those bad feelings will eventually leave you. And you can also use that same fact as permission for you to fully soak in all the good stuff you're feeling. Allow yourself to feel happy and blissful and connected and good. And release any guilt you might have for feeling good when you know that others are hurting. And just allow yourself to feel it, because it is temporary as well. Soak in as much as you can so that you can help others and even yourself when you are in those more painful stages of life. And a great reminder for this fact of life is right above our heads every single night. It can be seen in the moon. And in Hellenistic astrology, the moon is a representation of our physical body. Because just like our body, the moon does not have its own light. but the moon reflects the light of the sun, which is the representation of our soul, that inner spark in us that animates our body, brings it to life. And there are times where we have a full moon. The moon is completely illuminated by the sun. It is whole, bright. It shines a light for others in the darkness. And there are other times that that exact same moon is what we call a new moon. And it is not reflecting any light whatsoever. It's still there physically, but it's almost hiding in the shadows, in a state of hibernation maybe. And there's nothing wrong with the moon when it is in a new moon phase. Just like there's nothing wrong with you if you are in a phase where you feel disconnected and in the dark. It's just simply another phase of life. Just like how plants go through phases of blooming and growth and periods of decay. We will not escape these phases. And the expectation we sometimes put on ourselves to be feeling good all the time, or to be that full moon all of the time, that expectation in itself can be the source of great suffering in our lives. And so if we can allow that to leave us, to let go of that, or those voices that will say, well, I should be feeling good, I should be feeling connected and inspired and motivated, and let go of those should thoughts. And instead allow yourself to be exactly as you are, whether that is disconnected and unmotivated, or whole and connected and bright, blissful, motivated, where you feel like a full moon and like you can shine light for others in the dark. That is the same moon who goes through all of those phases. And you are the same way. You will go through so many different phases in your life. And you are not meant to escape those phases. We are simply meant to ride these waves of change. And so allowing that extra layer of resistance and questioning to just release away from you and exhale into what you're feeling in this moment. Allowing yourself to be just another part of life, just another force of nature, and trusting where you are, who you are, and where you are going. And letting more and more of your awareness come into your heart as you just remind yourself that you have your own direct line of connection to the source that all life comes from, through this heart. There is nothing in particular that you are doing to make your heart beat. But this beating heart is a pure gift of life. And it is your connection to whatever source allows all of our hearts to beat. Wherever all of that life and love comes from, whatever you believe that to be. You have a direct connection to that. And so you do not need to earn any more love from the world around you. But instead, you can tune into that infinite supply of love that you have right here within you. And allow your actions to reflect that love. And you'll see how that will naturally allow it to grow and expand into the world around you. So if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let that pulse of your palms be drawn toward one another. As you just feel the contact of your palms and fingers to one another in a prayer position toward heart center. You can feel your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. You just once again remind yourself of all this power you possess in your own heart. You can take a final deep and full breath into the body, allowing yourself to fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. Taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.